Luxor buffet, my fave. The chef here is phenomenal. Very hungry, so I'm excited. Found the goods, all the veggies, and sushi. I'm like obsessed with the sushi right now. So good. Dave is sick, so he got some soup. Chef William here at the Luxor buffet is phenomenal. He went through the entire buffet with me to make sure that I could have things that, or he stated which have garlic and which have onions, so I stayed away from those, and then he literally like went through the sushi and picked out the ones that I could have. So kudos to him. It made me come back a second time. I love this place. We are back in the room from the buffet, and I am so full. They look so pretty.
One eternity later.
Now there's a hot date.
That made everyone laugh.
You're a creep.
That's a good girl, dude. He can jump you off. No, it's just like true.
True.
Yeah.
This thing's too big for my head. Look.
That's kind of funny that it's too big.
This is our last full day here in Vegas, so we're going to explore. And David won some good money. So yeah, we're going to walk over to Mandalay Bay. We have to go through Luxor, which then connects to Mandalay Bay. I went there yesterday, and there's actually quite a few things to do and see, and he hasn't been yet. So we're going to explore, and then we go see Cirque du Soleil tonight. I'm very, very pumped. I hope you enjoyed a little bit of DICKS. That was my first time going there. I can't believe what my hat said. Wow. But yeah, it was very cool. So now,
That's his toy.
the next clip will be a little bit of other resorts here in Vegas.
Never just killed it. Pointed out.
Whenever I don't know where David is, all I have to do is look for this sign. And you will always find him right there. How's it going?
Huh? Pretty good.
Did you win yet?
Yeah.
What?
Yes, I did.
Hey, buddy. Hey, Tucker. Do you want to go see Mom? You think Mommy's gonna come? Hey, stay. Stay. Go see. Oh my God, you home, Tucker? Tucker, hi. He's like, what are we doing in the hallway? I'm going home.
What's going on, everyone? As I was editing this vlog, I realized that I didn't really have a closing clip, and for me personally, when I'm watching a vlog and it just ends and cuts off, what it does to me, but I just hate that. So I figured I would take this as an opportunity to respond to the comments on my last video. First of all, I hope you enjoyed New Year's in Vegas, and I hope you enjoyed this video, what a day in the life is like in Vegas. Don't mind my voice, I am so stuffed up. I got so sick on the way home from Vegas. As you can see, David got the flu while we were in Vegas, and then he gave it to me, and I've been like out cold since. So today's the first day that I can actually like get up and be alive, and was able to go to work today, but it's all in my face and all in my sinuses right now, so I sound wonderful. But I wanted to take this opportunity just to say thank you so much to everyone who responded, who commented, who messaged me about my last video of opening up to my personal mental health experiences and what I'm going through right now. I was absolutely not expecting such response from everyone or such kind words, but I do genuinely really appreciate it. I feel like, I guess knowing, because I've been dealing with it for so long, that I didn't really give that much detail, but I forget that for someone who's known me but knew absolutely nothing about that part of my life, that was probably a lot of information for you. And all the people that reached out to me and kind of shared a little bit of what they are going through, this made me feel so comfortable in choosing to do that. Again, not for sympathy, not for attention, but just simply, as I mentioned before, to show that if you know someone or you look up to someone and you're struggling with something and you find out that they're also struggling with the same thing, it truly does bring comfort to you, and it makes you feel like you're not alone and you're not abnormal, as I mentioned in my last vlog. In my last video, I did mention that I had an eating disorder in high school, but it wasn't a severe eating disorder. And I kind of regret saying that, because any eating disorder, they're all so different. To me, severity of an eating disorder is like you're hospitalized and you're being force-fed. That was not my case, but any eating disorder is literally a life-threatening illness. It doesn't matter if you were hospitalized or not. It doesn't matter how little, how short, how long it was. Throughout most of my high school years, which in Ontario is grade 9 until grade 13, because I did do an extra year, I did suffer with anorexia. Again, anorexia to a lot of people, it means something different. Every single day at school, I would have an M&M chocolate chip cookie that I'm pretty sure are deep fried from the cafeteria, but they were so good. I would have one of those and an Aero bar, and I'm pretty much guaranteed I would have that every single day, and that was my meal for the day. Going through that period, I thought, I'm only gonna do this for a short while and then I'm gonna start eating again, thinking that, you know, if I lose a little bit of weight or if I see the body that I want in the mirror, I'm gonna be happy. And that was something that I learned, thinking back now, if I could share any sort of lesson there, is that don't think that if you get to a certain number on the scale or you see a certain body type in the mirror, then you'll be happy with who you are. It doesn't work out that way. Just love who you are now and embrace who you are now. For a lot of people that go through an eating disorder, you pick up habits. For me, it was always looking in the mirror, body checking in the mirror, and until I felt satisfied, literally like look at my legs for hours until I was satisfied with what I saw. Obviously, nothing's gonna change when you're just looking at it for an hour. Another obvious result of having an eating disorder, not always but most often, you do lose your period. So in high school, for the most part, I did lose my period. And my turning point when I was in high school, that I knew that I was in trouble and I needed help, was I loved watching Dr. Phil. And I remember I was in my basement, I was watching Dr. Phil. It so happened to be an episode about a girl who had a very severe eating disorder. This girl had like nothing on her. She was all bones. I was absolutely petrified, and all I knew is that I did not want to end up like that. I started crying. I ran up the stairs to my mom and I was like, Mom, I need help. Like, I don't want to end up like that. I need to go to counseling. So it was my choice to get counseling. A lot of people tell me that I'm really lucky, and it's not always that someone recognizes that they're in trouble and asks for the help. So I guess in a way I'm blessed that I It was Dr. Phil's episode that changed it was like a light switch that made my mind turn that I needed help and that I didn't want to live the rest of my life this way, because it is very life consuming and it takes you out of the moment on the things that you're doing, because all your mind is focusing on is food and your body. I don't regret anything of my childhood at all. I had a great upbringing. My parents, my friends, all amazing. If anything, I learned a lot throughout those years of my life. I started counseling. I remember my first session with my counselor, who was phenomenal, and I sat in front of her and I said, I don't know how sitting in front of you for an hour is going to change anything. And I was really doubtful. And that is also something that I wanted to share that I learned, is that don't doubt, or even if you are doubting going to counseling or seeing a psychologist, just trust the process, because eventually, after a long period of going to counseling, I left one of my counseling sessions and I drove home in tears, but in tears of joy, because I finally had nothing to talk about with my eating disorder, because I was physically better. I went to college, I was able to drink and go to parties, and not that I recommend this, but got drunk with my friends. I could eat a whole pizza and be fine. What I didn't realize later, the mentality part doesn't go away on its own, and it's probably the hardest thing to fix on your own, and it does take counseling or going to see a psychologist to fix that part. I didn't really realize that because I was better. Like, I physically was eating and I felt great about my body and things were wonderful, but I was actually just ignoring the mental part of the eating disorder aspect. The eating disorder habits that you pick up with mirror checking and physically checking with your hands or looking at your stomach or picking apart your body, that all is part of the mentality of an eating disorder, and I just ignored it, and it was just like such a habit for me that I didn't even think twice about it. And it wasn't until I moved to Edmonton that I realized I was still doing those things, and to learn that the mentality part of an eating disorder doesn't always necessarily go away, and honestly it might never go away. It's just something that you have to learn how to manage, because it might not go away. But if you can learn how to separate your thoughts versus the eating disorder thoughts and being able to manage it better, then you can live a happy life and not be consumed about your body and food. And I thought that one day I would wake up and it would just go away and it would get better, and for the longest time I would think like, oh, I'm like in this cycle, I'm not getting any better. Why is my mind still thinking of this? Like, I've been wanting, every new year that came, I was like writing in my journal, I'm like, this year's gonna be different, but then nothing changed because I didn't change. I didn't do anything to change. Another lesson that I learned that I could share with you if I could is don't try to get better on your own. As much as you will tell yourself that you can do this on your own, you wanna try, just go get help. It's really, really hard. Trust me, I've tried. It doesn't work. And like I said, I am going to counseling. I have been just under a year now when it comes to the mentality part of it. Why am I getting emotional? I don't want to cry. If I start crying, you're really not going to understand me because I'm already so plugged up. But if you wait to deal with the mentality part of any sort of body image, I don't want to say you're going to waste years of your life, but it's very consuming. When you go out for, it's hard to go out for dinner. When you're with a group of friends, you won't be focused on those group of friends. You'll be focused on when your next meal is going to be, or how tight your jeans feel, or how disgusting you feel in your body. And I would not wish that upon anyone, because it truly doesn't matter what you look like on the outside. I'm like sweating. What matters is the person that you are on the inside. Alright, our life is put back together. I blame my emotions on being sick. I get a little bit emotional, but I did want to put it out there simply for the fact that I so strongly know what it feels like to feel different than everybody else because you are afraid to eat a banana, or you wish that you could have this but you're too scared to have it, or you tell yourself you're not going to harm your body today and then you go and harm your body that day and you feel like a liar to yourself and a fake, and
you really do beat yourself down. So when you find someone that you know has dealt with something similar to you, it really does make a difference to your mentality and show you that you're not the only one. You are not the only one dealing with an eating disorder or body image. So many people do, they just don't talk about it. And if this is me opening up and someone is watching this and they're going through the same thing, I just want you to know that you're not abnormal. And unfortunately, it is normal to have body image issues for some people and eating disorders, but you don't have to live like that for the rest of your life. Like I said, I went to college eating disorder free. I still had the habits of an eating disorder, but I could eat a whole pizza and get drunk with my friends, and I was just fine, and I had a great college life. And it wasn't until I moved to Edmonton that I found my outlet, which is another thing. Find an outlet that makes you happy. Find an outlet that takes your thoughts away from something like that, just to give yourself a break. And for me, that has been cheerleading. Perfect Storm has been my whole life. My saving grace, my outlet, my family, my home, you name it. Perfect Storm has been that for me. Some of the bestest friends I've ever had in my entire life have come out of that gym. Cheerleading by far. I am so thankful for that sport, for my coaches, for my friends, and for the family that has come out of that gym for me, because that was my outlet whenever I was having like a really bad day, or I needed a distraction, or I needed to honestly just break the mindset and bring me back down to reality. Cheerleading and Perfect Storm did that for me. So I'm so blessed to have found that gym and to be part of this amazing sport, because it did such positive things for me in my life. So find an outlet, whether it's music, nature, photography, going for walks, whatever it is, go find what that is. Reading, journaling, honestly, there's so many things out there that people are good at, so go find it. That's another lesson that I would like to share with you. Another thing that I wanted to share was a quote that I found on Instagram, and it actually really hit home for me, and I do believe that everything is presented to you in your life for a reason, and this quote was definitely presented to me for a reason. I wanted to share it with you. I don't share my thoughts because I think it will change the minds of people who think differently. I share my thoughts to show the people who already think like me that they're not alone. And that is exactly the message that I'm trying to put out there, is that if you think like me, if you have dealt with an eating disorder, or you are dealing with body image, mental health issues about yourself, you are not alone, and you don't have to live like this forever. It doesn't mean that I have an eating disorder right now. It means that I'm separating myself from the mentality part that I didn't deal with back then, and it has been absolutely amazing. 2 months ago, I ate movie popcorn, and that was a big win for me, because for a really long time, I was way too scared to eat movie popcorn. Go to the movies and have popcorn and eat Sour Patch Kids was like the best. I felt like I was on cloud 9, because that was a huge win for me. I went to Cactus Club probably a year ago with a bunch of girlfriends, probably the best night of my life, just to catch up with some amazing, beautiful people. And I got avocado on my salad, and again, another huge win for me, because I would never eat avocado, although I ate it all the time in my past. So putting avocado on my salad was a huge win for me. Not because I had an eating disorder, but if you do know me, or you watch my channel, you know that I have had a history of gut health issues, and I do believe that my colon issues, my gut health issues, my intestinal inflammation issues is because of how I treated my body back then. Part of it I think is genetics, because my parents both suffered with like IBS symptoms, that kind of thing, but I do believe because of how I treated my body in high school, then I started to develop all these other issues later on in life, and I had no idea. And because of the gut health issues, and I had to go through like an elimination diet, and avocados was something that I had to eliminate. I had to cut out a lot of things in my diet, and I was also too scared to reintroduce a lot of those things, and avocado was one of them. So when I reintroduced avocado on my salad, that was like even better of my night with being with a group of girls. I will say that I don't regret anything of my childhood. I don't have anorexia anymore. It is in my past. It's something that I dealt with physically. I can't say that I have a goal of 2019 to be fully recovered of all thoughts of my past, because that's not really realistic. It's definitely something you take one day at a time, and it could take months to years, but I'm working on it. I'm never giving up, and I encouraged you to start if you haven't, and don't give up if you have. So cutting it off there to my present life, I am very happy. I'm learning every day to love myself. I definitely make mistakes. I'm not perfect, but I'm learning and I'm not giving up, and that's the most important. So I hope you enjoyed this vlog. Like I said, I am not doing this for any sort of sympathy. It's not what I'm looking for at all. Think back to when I was a little girl and I thought I was completely abnormal and the only one like this, until I saw that there are people that I just admire so much that struggle with the same thing I do, and all of a sudden I felt like I'm going to be okay. Most important is that I'm going to be okay and I can get through this, and it is possible. So this is my message to everyone, to say that it is possible and to not give up. Love yourself more and more every single day. If anyone can take something from this, I hope it's something positive. I hope you enjoyed the Vegas part of this vlog as well. I sure did. And a part of Christmas for me from David was that I am going home in March to go on vacation with my family, and I'm so excited for that. So aside from that, there's gonna be so much more to vlog and show you, especially with the wedding planning and all that fun stuff. So anything new and exciting that happens, I will be sure to vlog and add to my channel. I am so lucky and so blessed to be surrounded by so many wonderful people, and I could never wake up thinking that I'm alone in this world, because I have so many people to thank, and I do mean that from the bottom of my heart. I love every single one of you. Anyways, until next time, I will see you next time. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one. Bye.